we are seeing different things, and that what we are seeing is often through the lens of our experience, the lens of our values, the lens of what we actually believe. And I do believe also that there is a lot of division here in Canada now, there's always division, of course, but it's different now, and it feels as though we can't also have civil conversations with each other about hard things. How do you, as priest, how do you, in your parishes and in your community, how do you moderate that? You must have people who come who have opinions that are different from yours and different from, other members of the church. How do you deal with it?
Oh, she looked at me. No, you go first. You take this one. It's happened to me several times just in the last month, right? But what I say is, I'm not going to relinquish what I believe Jesus is teaching me and what I believe Jesus, at least what he says and what he did. If it's consistent with that, then I'm on board. If it's not, I will say it's not. But I'm not going to tell somebody that they have to think the way I think or they have to do what I would do. I do agree with you. Things are very different. I mean, I look back over the last years of my life, the last 40 years of my adult life. I have voted for every different political party. I have been in different places in my life where I have but I have, seen different sides of issues at different points in my life.
Totally.
It's not like that anymore. It feels so much more like you have to be on one pole or the other. And instead of just having maybe opposing ideas or opposing opinions or positions, it's now like you're either with us or you're against us. You're on team this or team that. And that I worry about in a way I haven't worried about in my lifetime. So, and as church people, as people of faith, but also as church leaders, when we were trying to struggle through what was happening in Gaza, for instance, I'm on the Interfaith Council of Halton. We really struggled with the public about this as this particular community. We never had issues with being able to talk to each other or praying together or what we all wanted. But we did struggle somewhat because of our different communities as to how we were going to do that. What would we actually say or what, but we are still together because as people of faith who are not in some fundamental space where it's either you're in our fundamental space or you're wrong or you're evil or whatever. Yes. We're able to share common values and keep to those common values without any trouble. Right? We don't fight with each other. We haven't separated from each other. We still get together. We still love each other, and we're trying our best to figure out how do we demonstrate that as leaders and as a group to the rest of the world. But I worry for our country and our communities that the polarization is really, really strong. And I hope that we find a way to get through this soon so that we can be a place where people can be in peace and love. And certainly for our own church people, that we will remember the teachings of Jesus. And all we can do is keep restating those as often as we can in ways that we hope will people will want to engage with.
I think it's really important that we reach out to people that are at the extremes, that are fundamentalists on both ends of the spectrum, and listen to them. Because I think they've gotten where they are because of fear, because of pain that they have experienced. And we humans, we need to know that people care and that they're actually listening to us. And I think if we can build relationship, then we can, help people hold their hands and bring them together to listen to each other and to come together around common things.
Yes.
People may have different views on certain things, but I would suggest that those people probably share common views on other things. And if we can bring them together on those things that they do agree on, they can get to know each other and appreciate each other.
Right.
And let go of that hate and that othering. Right?
Yes.
It's very easy to accuse and judge people you don't know.
Yeah.
Much harder with the people you do know. When you engage their souls.
And people that you trust or that you feel some friendship with. It is very hard to be against them even when you disagree with them. So if we can find a way to care for each other even when we disagree and demonstrate caring, then maybe that's when we have, hard conversations or difficult conversations. But I'm just going to go on my soapbox for less than a minute, 30 seconds, which is I don't think a lot of this would exist if we didn't have this third universe, social media universe that has, divided us, has been active in try and strategic in trying to divide us. And for a long time, we didn't know that that's what was happening, but now we do. So I think this is the time where we have to speak up and hold each other, even if we don't agree with one another.
I agree with that. I'll say, in addition to what I said earlier, Sue-Ann and I are not going to stop loving people just because they have different views than us. It doesn't mean that we're going to be able to engage with everybody. If someone is being truly hateful, we may not be able to engage with them. But as long as they're not in that place, so I was telling you these people I've spoken with, I didn't stop loving them just because we disagreed.
Right.
I'm okay with that. And I think Jesus would be okay with that. But I wouldn't help them to demonstrate hate towards others either, right? That's what I was trying to say. I agree with you. Now, coming from a technical background, I will say, at first I thought that there were malign actors who use social media just like people use other wonderful technology for bad purposes. Unfortunately, now we have people controlling platforms who seem to either be doing it simply to make money or because it's their actual values. And I think of X, I think of Elon Musk, and I think those are his personal views, and he has shaped the platform to work toward his views. And I think it's very detrimental to the world that that's the case. There are people who engage with that, who know that, and they just want to see what these folks are saying. But there are other people who actually are following it, believing it, and encouraging it. I think that's very detrimental for all of us.
True. No, I think